This is Lifestyles. I'm sorry for little technical difficulties. I'm trying to bring George in tonight. So hold on. Let me see if I can get him in the invite. And how's everybody doing? Hey, Shirley. Hey, Peggy. Happy birthday. Um, and thanks for coming to Lifestyles this evening. I just want to talk about the Breonna Taylor, excuse me, the Breonna Taylor things that are going on down in Louisville. They didn't find any of the police uh, guilty of anything, or the grand jury didn't, they didn't want to pursue anything on the police. So I don't know. Hold on just a second. Let's see. George is saying, oh, shoot, I don't know. I done messed up on my time. But anyway, let's see. Let me see if I can get George in. Hold on. Let's see. Um, okay. What's going on, George? Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Angela. What's going on? Welcome to Lifestyles. Um, I'm trying to get George in here, so I don't know. Let's see. George, check your email. Check your email, George. And I need wine. It's Thursday, but I need some wine. I didn't get wine today. Wine's in the fridge. I need wine tonight. Check your email, George. No, check your email. See if the link got sent. I think I sent it. Um, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in Louisville. I know two cops got shot last night. I guess around the time of the curfew time, and it wasn't anything critical, from what I hear. But the people are angry, and I'm one of the people, that's angry, and I'm going to try to keep myself cool. Don't want to get the blood pressure up, and it's not worth it. But I'm angry, and I'm angry because it seems like we're being treated like freaking animals, and I don't I don't know what to say. I've never seen it like this. I've never I didn't live in the '60s, so um, I don't I don't know what the '60s were like. All I know is what I see on documentaries and things like that. But what I do know is what I'm seeing now is so much division and hate that I'm not used to seeing. I mean, I understand people are prejudiced, people are angry. I mean, people don't like others because of their race, religion, sexual orientation, whatever the case is. But I don't know. This is different. Hey, Victoriously Shay, how are you? We're talking about the Breonna Taylor things that are going on down in Louisville. Um, I don't know. It's a lot of unrest, and I'm one of the African American men that is very angry. They're trying to blame the boyfriend basically for his girlfriend being killed because they're saying he shot the first shot, which was a warning shot because they banged on the door and they didn't announce themselves after they busted the door down. Of course, he shot a shot defending his home. But unfortunately, there the district attorney or the attorney general is pretty much district attorney or attorney general is basically blaming the boyfriend for everything that happened and saying it was basically like self-defense. Hey, what's going on, Roberta? It's attorney Roberta Stanton in the house tonight. Welcome to Lifestyles. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. George said nothing on my email. Okay, let me try it again, buddy. Let me try it again. Let's see. Okay, George, I just sent it again. I believe it did send. I believe it did send, George. I'm doing good and my city is going ham. Now, where are you at, Shay? Um, hey, Peggy. Hey, Delana, what's going on? Welcome to Lifestyles. Are you on the West Coast? Well, I used to live out there. Okay, you're on the West Coast. I'm sorry. Okay, so I used to live in Escondido and I worked in San Diego. You're in Arizona. Okay, well, I lived in Escondido, California, for a few years. But it's crazy. My sister lives in Phoenix, actually. Uh, I don't know if I can send it to your messenger. Let me see. Hold on, everybody. Let me see. Hold on. Trying to send it right now. Come on. Yeah, shit. Okay, everybody, hold on, hold on. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this. What's your name on Facebook? Just sent it. Please close the tab to stream. Damn, that fucks up the whole thing. Hey, hey. So I'm back. I couldn't figure it out. So we'll get George on eventually again. Hey George, hey, what's going on, man? So hey Holly, what's going on? Why is George on? There's George. Hey, we figured it out. Okay, so we got George on, everybody. All right. So how's George doing tonight?
I, I,
How's Mr. George doing this evening?
all right, I got you on. I'm weirding myself out because I got you on the TV and the podcast at the same time.
Oh wow, okay, okay, okay. You cut it out. You cut out, George. Um, what's up? No, no, no. So yeah, we're going to start talking about the again. We're going to talk about the Breonna Taylor, where the grand jury indict. Well, they did. I'm sorry. The grand jury did indict former detective Brett Hankinson of 3 counts of wanton endangerment. Let me see. Let's get George on again. Okay, George is back. So I was telling the audience, George, that the grand jury did indict former detective Brett Hankinson of 3 counts of wanton endangerment. So basically, that's endangering somebody with a bullet going through somebody else's apartment, but not the bullet that killed Breonna Taylor. So that's really what a lot of people are upset about, because nobody got in trouble for killing Breonna Taylor, but yet he got that small D felony, possibly 1 to 5 years for wanton endangerment, which is just because he shot in another apartment. It's just messed up that over and over again, it's just really starting to sound like a broken record. It really just seems like, man, we're being treated like freaking animals. It's really making me think that somebody has told it's an all-out seizing on African American people. I mean, it's becoming alarming to the point where it's alarming. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It's becoming alarming to me. What do you think?
I think, remember, this is the way I feel about it. I feel like it's election time. That's Mitch McConnell's neck of the woods down there, and somebody went off and told the people down there, the attorney general, the prosecutor's office, you need to get this mess straightened out so I can run for re-election in Kentucky. So they gave him that $12 million settlement to the mother. And when's the last time anybody heard of somebody getting a settlement before a trial, before a criminal trial? Normally you go to a criminal trial first, then you come back and you get the settlement. You go to trial,
or they sue civilly.
In civil court, yeah. So they, they got that settlement. I'm thinking they did it so Mitch can get back in office. You get the people to calm down, but where they messed up at is the grand jury said, okay, we're not going to charge anybody but one person, and that one person is getting charged for shooting into another apartment and endangering somebody's life in the other apartment. To me, what's going to happen is he's going to get off too. Basically, it's like he's going to get off too also.
The officer?
The officer, because after
former
officer, former officer.
Yeah.
He's probably going to get off. They're probably going to say, okay, we'll have his trial after the election. Since he wasn't found guilty of the initial murder of killing Breonna Taylor, and it was probably a thing where, you were shooting your gun through the room and everything, and that's just something that happens in the course of going into an apartment or a house. And when you're inside of a shootout, you shooting, trying to shoot back and protect your own self. So he's going to get off. He'll probably get a slap on the wrist if he gets anything. It'll probably be like probation.
They said it's some kind of diversionary program if you've never been in trouble. So they could, it could be home detention, it could be probation, like you just said. So
probation, and they'll make him retire. He'll still get his full pension and everything, and he'll go ahead and retire.
Right.
If he may not get full pension, but he might get 75% of his pension, and he'll retire, and it'll be over with. And then it's back to business as normal. And it's sad. Yeah, it's real sad, because you got to think $12 million ain't that much. By the time they pay the attorney's fees, and then you're going to have family members with their hands out looking for money, and then you're going to have people who's going to come back to this company, you owe this company money. They're going to be trying to do all kinds of frivolous lawsuits. So that $12 million is going to turn into probably right around maybe 7 or 8. And then by the time you get through, giving out money to this lawsuit, that lawsuit, and this, people going to be asking for major donations, like your church going to be, Sister so-and-so, can we have $1 million donation from the settlement? No. So that money's going to be gone just like that. Unless she's real smart and she says, you know what, I got my settlement money and I'm not going to talk to anybody for about a year, and I'm going to move and relocate and shut it down. That'd be the best thing for her to do. Just move and pay your lawyer off and just move, change your phone number, change your address, and don't tell nobody where you're at, and go live your life and you know, get your mind together after losing your daughter.
Pretty much. I agree, man. Attorney Roberta Stanton, he was the boyfriend had shot one warning shot, and then they let off about 32 rounds, is what I heard. So
did you see the apartment on TV?
Overkill. What'd you say?
Did you see the apartment on TV?
No.
The patio door was shot in. The window was shot through the back patio door, and the front door was, you know, gunshots throughout the living room. It was a mess, man. You know. So, and then here's another thing about that case. Check this out. They said the investigation into Breonna was a horrible police investigation. The officer that was in charge of that investigation, he falsified information on the documents about what was the reason why he wanted the no knock warrant.
Wow.
And they said it was real bad. It said he wasn't even there going into the door. He sent those officers there to do that arrest.
But the attorney, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, they knew that she didn't have anything to do with it. It was just they was trying to frame her to make her involved with her ex-boyfriend who was already in jail.
But that didn't have any right. But that was the wrong apartment anyway. So if that was the wrong apartment, then was it her ex-boyfriend? Remember, that was just totally the wrong apartment. That they weren't even supposed to come to that apartment. That apartment was the wrong apartment, period.
Right.
So
that was like
that's just like Amber Geiger shooting I
can't think of the brother's name. Yes,
but anyway, that's like Amber Geiger shooting that young man, busting in his apartment, saying that I thought it was my apartment.
My apartment, yeah.
Bam, 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 bam. I mean,
yeah. How do you do that?
I mean, ice cream, and you shoot and kill me, and you okay.
Because I think as soon as you come in your house, the first thing you notice, that's my sofa, that's my coffee table, that's my clock on the wall. So you don't keep on walking through the house and be like, oh, I thought this was my apartment, because your decoration and your decor in your apartment is totally different from what that dude's was. So
totally. So was she under the influence of something?
You know what? From what I heard, she lived right above him. And there was a problem with, she was saying they had a problem with music and all this stuff and disturbance. So she walked up there, but they said she shouldn't even have been able to get onto that floor because you had to have a certain key fob to get on each individual floor and go to each individual door. So I don't know. I heard rumors that it was jealousy that she liked him or was trying to talk to him or something like that, and she got upset. And you know, I heard all kinds of rumors and speculation. But to me, it's like as soon as I walk in my front door, I know what the hell I'm looking at as soon as I come in my door. So how the heck can you walk it all
we'll never know. We'll never know unless she writes a book or something later.
And you know, she's asking for a reduced sentence right now.
Yeah, and she'll probably get it.
Yeah, she probably will. Yeah.
She's an ex-officer. She'll get it. It's all about the officer.
Yeah,
and it's us against them, and that's what really this is turning into, us against them. And they've been militarized, and we've been looked at now as prey, or like there's a war against Black people. Every time they get us in a compromising position, they seem to over aggressively do things that they shouldn't do. I was watching a video where they body slammed a young girl. I mean, he did a wrestling move and body slammed a young girl onto the cement. And her mama said, "Don't do my daughter like that." I mean, I don't know. They treat Black people like fucking animals. Bottom line, sorry, but they do.
Yeah. You know what? Here's what I've been saying, and I've come to realize over time that, and I might have said it last time, we are the front line for them to take out their abuse, their stress, their whatever racial issues. And once all black people said, we tired of this crap, we going back to Africa, who they gonna come after next? The Mexicans, they coming after you next. The Native Americans, they coming after you next. So all you Indian people and all you Chinese people that think that you're cool, you don't have to go through all that stuff. You're going to be their next
Gotham
victim on
King.
the line.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, man. So, I've been sitting around checking out this news. What you think about this president of ours, man? He's talking about when the election goes down,
Might
and some
not
of these
leave.
swing. He's talking about, well, in the swing states like Michigan, Ohio, and all this stuff, he's going to challenge those mail-in ballots and try to say, okay, well, the
That's the
mail-in
cheat.
ballots is something
That's the
wrong with it.
cheat. That's the cheating that's going on. It's a shame that you can't win legally and the correct way or lose the correct way, but you have to cheat your way in. And you're already saying you're going to do it by everything he says he does. That's the weird. It happens. So that means
Yeah.
that he is going to challenge the mail-in votes because he's going to do the cheating. This is
If
ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
if he
He
doesn't
wants to win by any means, and this is ridiculous.
if he doesn't find a way to suspend the election, that might be the first course of action. Well, we're going to suspend the election because we feel out the voter fraud and all this crap. A guy like that, Joe Biden's got to be careful, man. A guy like that, he might do anything, or anybody that loves him try to do something to Joe Biden before the election starts.
You're right.
Or they might try to, with this attorney general that's kissing his butt. This attorney general might say, okay, we got some charges we're going to pull up on him and try to have Joe Biden locked up. This is just how dictatorships work. They eliminate the enemy by any means.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. You're right. You're right. I was hearing that the debate is coming up. I think in a week. Is it a week?
Yeah, I think it
And
is.
they were saying that Donald Trump's a showman. He knows how to, smooth the crowd, and
Yeah.
but they said that if Biden uses some of the facts and things like that, he may do good still, even though he's not maybe as quick, because they were saying the lighting may make him stutter because he has that stutter, the stutter. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not trying to make fun of him, but they just said that the light may make him stutter, possibly. So,
Well,
I don't know.
here's the thing. Nowadays, these elections, they don't really talk about social and economic issues. It's more or less like what you want to call it when a roast, a celebrity roast.
Right.
That's what it's coming down to, And in that case, I could see Donald Trump sitting there and talking about Joe Biden and trying to make jokes and
Call him
everything. And
Sleepy Joe and all that. That's just it's
yeah,
disrespectful, is what it is.
and
It's
the
not
real
even being
social issues won't even be addressed. It's like
right.
the real, like economics in America, social injustice. Now they have a social policing thing that's going on right now. If you are a certain color or a certain economic status, people in upper economic neighborhoods are calling the police on you for no reason because they want to be socially police people now. So if
Wow.
you're a black person, you go to Central Park and you're just out doing your thing, they'll call the police. Oh, there's a black person in Central Park, and I'm afraid for my life. They're doing social policing now. So
Okay.
it's sad. Yeah, it's real sad. And this guy, man, I don't know, man. I hate to talk about Trump, but Trump is a psychopathic narcissist.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put it out there.
He's the epitome of all of that. He's the epitome of that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's I didn't know what that really, because I hadn't heard that word a whole lot in life. But now I understand what it truly means when you say things like, I'm the greatest
it's
person you
about
ever met. I'm the greatest person. I am the best person you ever met, right?
right.
Everything I do is right. You know that, right? You know that, right?
Mhm.
He
Yeah,
tries, but they also said that his father was a talker like that. He tried to convince you with certain words. This is
yeah,
spectacular. This building is going to be grand. And
yeah.
he came up in that old school Barnum and Bailey, a
Let
showman,
me dazzle you.
which oil salesman or something. They know how to carouse you. I mean, carouse you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah. They know. Yeah,
his dad was just like that. Okay, and out of all of his children, he took after the dad, and that's the reason why he wasn't that smart, but that's the reason why he took after. But he was arrogant, and he knew how to act like the dad. He acted more like the dad than the other kids did. And
oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
Here's the thing. I was checking out this one psychologist on YouTube, and she was talking about people who are psychopaths and narcissists and sociopaths. And she said one of their main, if you look at anybody who's successful in business, that are very successful, she said there's a great percentage. She said maybe like 25% of them, or maybe 8 out of 10 or something like that, um, may be narcissists, because their main goal is to, their objective is to reach their goal, no
Okay.
matter what. So if you want to get your job done and you look at the top CEO and all this stuff, what is their personality trait? Their personality trait is, I don't care about the empathy or the sympathy or being sympathetic to somebody. I'm in business to do what? To be
Make
successful and
money and
take
be
out my enemy.
successful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want a larger share of my market. So when you have somebody who's a personality like Donald Trump, who has a personality like that, yes, he can be successful if he has the right people who are willing to do what? Enable his actions.
And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, and if you don't do something to check his actions, you will look back, say, dang, this man, and you see how he does. If you say something, if you work for him and you say something he doesn't like, you're out of there. He's going to start talking about you. You're fired. And he's going to
He
make
tries
your
to
life
make you,
hell.
bully you and make you look bad and make you feel bad. And if you're a
Yeah,
weak person, if you go for that and you're weak, it'll crush you.
yeah,
You know.
he will. Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
But that's why he wouldn't. To me, if they have a debate, they start talking about the real topics and the real issues.
Which he knows nothing
Trump,
about.
yeah, Trump won't survive that. He won't survive that. So he'll find a way to
Divert.
maybe shuck and jive his way through the interview to make himself look good to his
That's what
followers.
he's gonna do. He's gonna talk
Yeah,
about him. He's gonna bring up you Dems, you Democrats. You're gonna do this. You're gonna bring doom and gloom. And he says all the. This is like a Jim Jones quote, George. I don't know what
oh
you
yeah.
think, but I've never seen educated people fall for this mumbo jumbo. And I said mumbo jumbo. They're
Well,
fall. It's like they're drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, I this is strange, just to get their agenda pushed, whether it be money, abortions, whatever the case is. Roe versus Wade, let's overturn that. I mean, whatever to get their agenda crossed, they're gonna ride with the Trumpster.
yeah.
This is a strange year.
Well, here's a sad part about psychopaths, sociopaths. People will follow them to the edge of the cliff, and they will jump off. And then once they jump off the cliff, they realize they should have never listened to this guy. Now, you talking about Jim Jones. That's his perfect example, because Jim Jones started right here in Indianapolis, moved to California,
He did. He
and
did.
then went down to Guyana,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jonestown, Guyana.
He
And the
took a
people
lot of
started to
people from here.
realize that it was something wrong with this man. And then when they realized it was too late, they started drinking the Kool-Aid, and probably like what, maybe 95% or 99% of people died following behind Jim Jones. And this is the same kind of crap. Listen to this man right here that we have in office, and you mess around and you follow him to the edge of the cliff and you drink the Kool-Aid, and when you look back, you be like, oh snap, this dude led me to my death. He destroyed my family. Perfect example of that is him not telling everybody to put on a mask. Put your mask on when you're out in public and social distance. You don't know how you're gonna get that virus, man. Just like I got it. You don't know
Right.
how you're gonna get it.
Right.
I don't know how I got it. I really don't. I told my one buddy Greg, it's like you going out and you cheating on you going out, you happily married, and you catch a STD, but you don't know how you get it because you wasn't cheating.
Exactly.
And you're like, I don't know how I got it, but I wasn't messing around. And you're
Right.
trying to explain that stuff
But
to
you
your
can't
woman. You're like,
explain that. Yeah.
you can't explain it. You're like, I don't know how I got it. And that's what they're out there messing with Trump. You being loyal to him. Then you mess around and you catch this stuff, and you're trying to figure out, well, I don't know where I got it from. Well, you could have got it from a door handle. You could have got it at that Trump rally. Just put your mask on and, then come home and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Simple
That's it.
thing.
That's
Yeah,
it.
simple
That's it.
thing. Yeah.
That's it. I agree, Attorney Roberta Stanton. He is definitely a sociopath. Uh, this is what we got. We are really living in a movie. We have a reality star president and a pandemic, and all sorts of other little things going on around the world. Race wars, people, everybody's against black people. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Not just, I'm sorry, hold on. Not just black people. Um, Everybody's not just against African American people, but it's just we're the ones that seem to be getting killed by police officers more than other races. I'll say that.
Right. It's still all a part of the way I look at it. It's still a part of the transatlantic slave trade. It's just another version of it. Slavery hasn't ended in America. The actual plantations, all that's over with, but then you had to go through Jim Crow. But you're still in a form of social slavery where you can be accused of being a black person, getting off work, walking home to the bus stop, and a cop looks at you and says, okay, I'm gonna pull this dude over because he looks funny. He could have on, he looks like you walking through the neighborhood to the bus stop. What are you doing out here? I'm going home and just got off work. Okay, show me some ID. Well, I need to show you some ID for. What did I do? Well, I'm detaining you.
Now get on the car. Now get on the car. Do you got anything on you? Now it escalates to other stuff when you technically don't have to show your ID. Like let me see. Oh, like the guy in Atlanta 2 weeks ago had gotten beat up real bad by the cops because his girlfriend was taking a rent-a-car back. He was in the passenger seat. They get pulled over. They go right to him and say, "Let me see your ID."
Yeah.
He said, "I don't have my ID, and I'm not driving. Why do you need to see my ID?" So, I mean, it escalated to that, to something deeper than that. So he didn't end up getting killed, but he did get beat up. So,
and what's sad is you have law enforcement officers that know what their partners and their other officers are doing is wrong, and they won't say a damn thing.
That's the blue line. Now that goes beyond race. That's the thin blue line. Yeah. I understand that totally.
Yeah, and it's sad because they would have a officer beat somebody up. They sit there and they say, well, he was mouthing off to the officer or whatever, or he was speeding, so we shot him while he was speeding. And I'm like, that's going, if you're shooting somebody while they're in the car driving, that's endangering the public. Your officer should be locked, putting handcuffs on you for doing something like that. If you beating a kid up just because he's like just trying to do an honest job and go to work, and you just get all huffy puffy, you trying to show your power and press up on him and bully him, and the other officer just sits there and don't say a damn thing. Well, you should lose your job too, because if you're harassing that kid, now you put this kid's life in danger and you put him in the hospital. You should be locking that officer up for doing too much. And if you don't, you should lose your job.
Exactly.
And I don't want to hear all this. I tried to cut the deck down the middle and say, okay, I'll cut him a break on certain things and everything. But now you can't do it no more, man.
Nah, I know.
You just can't.
Ain't no more breaks. And when they have all these different not charges, but complaints against them, a certain amount of complaints, you shouldn't get that. If you get 5 complaints, you should be out of there. I mean, you should be out of there. But you got 16 and 20 complaints. 16 complaints.
Man, remember I told you when I was. Remember when I told you I was dating the police officer and I went on a ride along with her one day?
Yeah.
There was an officer who had been there 25 years on the police department. He got suspended 26 times and still had his daggone job. Still had his job. And every year. And you know what the commanding officer said? He said, good thing you guys have a union, because if you had a normal job, you'd be fired already.
Wow.
Suspended 26 times and still had his job after 25 years. How does that work out? That's crazy.
It is crazy. But
that's crazy, man.
It's so many different things, and we need police officers, or then again, sometimes I think that we need to go back to the 60s and protect ourselves. I mean, and arm ourselves. I mean, really, because they're against us too. We could call the police and say we need them, and then when they get to our house, they could think we're the criminal and kill us. That's happened a few times. I mean, come on. So, I mean, you're scared to call them. You don't know if you need to call them or not. You know, you
Yeah,
might
just
just
like
need
the
to
kid that just got
handle
shot
it
in the back
yourself.
7 times. Just like the young man that got shot in the back 7 times. He's breaking up a fight. The police come. He's trying to get into his car with his kids in the car and get away from, and leave out of the officer grabs him behind, shoots him 7 times. Why'd you shoot him 7 times? You couldn't have grabbed him by his pants and pulled his butt out back out the car. You had all them officers out there, none of y'all can handle that one man. And that's
Yep.
another thing that gets me too. You got all these police officers walking around here like they go bodybuilding and they at the gym buffed all up and everything. And you take a guy that's like 175 pounds and you talking about you can't control him. Come
Wait,
on, man.
wait,
Give me a
wait.
break.
Yeah. Now, you know, today I heard on the radio, I was listening to NPR, and they said that was it black for some reason when black people are engaged with police officers, they feel threatened for their lives. But when white people technically or statistically are engaging with police officers, they don't feel threatened because that's their what. Like I said, they see their brother, their sister, their mother, their father. They look at us like animals, like prey. We
Yeah.
remember we weren't human for a certain amount of years. We weren't considered really human. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't consider us really human. They thought that black men had tails. I was told that by an old black man. They used to
Well,
ask
you
him, did
remember,
he have a tail when
yeah,
he was
you
young?
remember the
And
brother that got you remember the brother that got killed? Was it in Arizona? Probably it's about maybe been more than 5 years. His car had broke down on the highway and the officers were surrounding his car. And he was just trying to, get his car started. The police surrounding, and the guy and the police and the officer in the police helicopter said, "Oh, look at him. He looks like a big black. He's like a big bad man. Look at him. Look at him. Look how big he is." I mean, he's talking about this dude like he's a zoo animal at a zoo exhibit. And they shot that brother. So I'm
wow,
like,
wow, like an
it's not
animal,
making any
like an
sense.
animal.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why they don't mess with a lot of white folks. Now, if you a low income white person live in a trailer park or you live in a neighborhood that's probably like what we grew up, they may come messing with you because you might have become a public nuisance to them. But typically, if you're a black person or a Latino person, they don't care what you look like. If you're wearing $1,000 suit, if you're wearing blue jeans and walking down the street with a basketball in your hand, if something comes over them, they're going to pull you over and decide to jack you up. And you could be sitting on the side of the road trying to fix your car, and you got to always be aware of the one officer that's going to come up there and say, "Well, what are you doing?" "Oh, my car broke down." "Oh, really? Well,
Right,
let me see your ID."
right.
"Why you need my ID for?" "Also, my car is broke down." "Well, why don't you want to give you my ID? You got something you need to hide?" It's always something negative. It can't never be anything positive. There's
When it
always
comes
got
to
to be the
blacks,
negative.
when it comes to African
Yeah, when
American
it comes to
people, yeah,
black,
everything, yeah.
it's always the negative. Yeah, and that's the part I get tired of hearing. You can't never say, "Oh, are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? Can I help you?" No, it's always got to be, "Oh, you fell down. You were trying to run. You were trying to, get rid of some drugs." So
Right.
I get tired of it, man. Yeah.
Yep. It
But
is.
what,
I don't know. It's getting annoying. It's.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So what's it? Did you hear about this dude? You heard of this dude on Vlad TV? He was talking about Minister Farrakhan. Did you hear about this crap?
Vlad.
Yeah, Vlad. Yeah,
I didn't
something
hear
about.
exactly the comments that Corey Holcomb was talking about it because he wouldn't do. Corey Holcomb, the comedian, wouldn't go on DJ Vlad his show, and so he said that I guess he had made some comments about Minister Farrakhan because Farrakhan wouldn't come on, but so he reversed a few things and just kind of took some things out of proportion that weren't true about Minister Farrakhan. But I didn't get to hear exactly what it was he had said. I guess I don't think he's Russian, but he lives in California.
Yeah, he's
And he
supposed to be
he
Russian
interviews a
Orthodox
lot
Jew or
of,
something like that.
yeah, he interviews a lot of big time rappers and makes a lot of money off of us, but we don't make anything off him. That's basically to what Corey Holcomb was saying. So
Yeah, that's what I heard. They said he wants if you go off and you say something about the Jewish mafia, he'll get all offended. But if you say something about black people or something derogatory about black people, he's all down with it.
he's down with that,
So
yeah. And he always
yeah,
asks the real questions about did you sell drugs, and
yeah.
he really gets in depth. He's a nosy little guy. But
Yeah, I heard that. I was checking out an interview that he did a while back with what's the dude name, man? He's oh man, Juicy. It was I can't. He was a rapper, man. He was in prison for he was a pimp and a rapper, and he was asking about his rap game. I'm like, dude, you really throwing this man under the bus with some of this stuff you asking this brother, man. And, I've seen a lot of people that he comes on there. He got on there with the real Rick Ross, and asking him all kinds of questions and stuff. I'm like, sometimes you might need to shut your mouth because you never know who's listening, man. What you ask these people,
Right.
And you can get somebody in trouble for
He's
something.
doing that on. I think he do it on purpose. I think he does it on purpose. I think he does it on purpose. Yeah.
Because what I've heard is a lot of people are starting to run away from his podcast and his interviews now because of about that Farrakhan comment that he did and all this stuff. So this is what I'm hearing, like looking at a lot of stuff on YouTube that Jamal was Jamal was one of his dudes that was ride or die with him, and he cut loose on him and everything and left him. And one of the comedians that was on there that used to come on there and deal with him and everything, he said he ain't messing with him no more either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the brother, I mean, it's a crazy world out here, man. I mean, just the stuff you got to be mindful about what you say. If you say it, you got to be able to back it up.
Yeah. You definitely got to think before you say nowadays, because you can. This is the world. This is the time of getting canceled. So you could get canceled real easy, even on YouTube. Yeah. So you got to watch. You got to watch what you say. You got to watch the hate, and which, I mean, that's not what I'm about anyway. And you're not about that. Whatever anybody wants to do, that's what they're gonna do. You like it, I love it.
And well, here's another thing about this cancel culture with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. They didn't back down, man. They held their ground. They stood their ground. Kevin Hart said some things. He said, "I'm not going to apologize. I already, I'm not going to keep on doing that." Dave Chappelle was saying
sorry.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle said stuff on his Netflix special about the LGBT community. He said he wasn't backing down. I mean, a comedian is there to make fun of the stupid stuff that people do in their lives, or to make light of different things when we're going through tough times.
Comedians are being exempt.
Yeah, and if you take that away from somebody and say, "Oh, I'm super sensitive," you shouldn't have said that stuff. Come on, man, give me a break. That's what comedy is about, to make light of the stupid stuff that we do in our life.
Right.
And if you can't handle it, then don't listen to it. Turn the channel, but don't.
Well, everybody's so damn sensitive now, George. You can't say anything anymore. Now, remember back in the 70s when you could call somebody a honky on TV? I'm just being honest. Yeah. They were saying nigga, honky, all that on TV, and people just laughed. It wasn't nothing but a joke because it was comedy.
Red Fox and Richard Pryor said that a lot on their shows. Nobody got mad.
Nobody got. Remember when Archie Bunker and the Jeffersons moved next door to each other?
Yeah.
Nigga and honky.
We laughed about it and we talked about it and we thought it was moved on.
But we know that race exists, and that's the one thing that if we all could understand that. I don't like when people see. Here's the thing. We do bleed all the same, but we are different. We are different, and we have differences. We have different ethnic differences. We're definitely different, and we come from different origins. And everybody just needs to respect everybody's what they are, and that's what we don't get that. We're the only race that really don't get it. Everybody else gets that. I mean, I'm just saying we don't get a respect from. I mean, we're not pure. We're just black, African descendants, but we don't get any respect, man. We just.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, Paul Mooney said that stuff on Dave Chappelle. He said, everybody want to be an N-word, but everybody don't want to be called an N-word. And I'm like, it's a lot of truth to that. A lot of nationalities want to take our culture and implement it into their lifestyle.
They don't want to really be black though, George. They just want to emulate the stuff that we do. That's all.
Yeah. I want to be like Michael Jordan, and you're not black. You ain't nowhere near black and Jordan. Right. I want to be like Kobe. You're not black. You're not the black mama. But they want to take that cut. They want to take rap music and make it.
They don't have this. They don't have this right here. That melanin inside. Yeah. So as long. Well, yeah, Peggy, and I agree, and I totally agree, Peggy, but, here's the thing, and this is what I try to explain to somebody, is that all lives aren't being killed by police officers right now. Only black lives, not white people, not Mexican people, not Italian people, not Japanese people, Chinese people, Indian people. Only African Americans are being slaughtered damn near every day, and it's not always on videotape. And that's just what happens. I'm not going to get upset. All lives do matter, but all lives aren't being killed by police officers. That's the reason Black Lives Matter started. That's it. It's not, and that's it. But all lives do definitely matter. But it started because of the police violence among Black and unarmed Black people. And we seem to get singled out and killed every single time. And it seems to be a culture now. And you see it on tape, you see a person not having any weapon, but yet they're getting killed anyway.
Right. Let me piggyback off of that a little bit. What I would try to say to kind of help peg you out a little bit, if you look at the statistics based upon population, yeah, Black folks get killed statistically more than white folks, Latino
when it
folks.
comes to that type of thing.
Yeah, based on population. Yeah, based on the populations, our numbers are higher because we don't have as many Black folks as there are white folks. But statistically, yeah, we are getting killed at a greater number if you balance it out statistically. Do white folks get killed by police? Yeah, they do. Do Latino folks get killed by police? Yeah, they do. But we get publicized on the news because of our nationality to try to make us look bad as a people.
Okay, that's another part to look at. Yeah, okay.
The press and the police departments, if we did something right now and we got shot and killed, the first thing they're going to say is, "Oh, well, Mr. Eric, back in 1917, he was a pimp." And this is 2020, but they go way back on your record and look at all that and put all that out there to make you look bad as a Black person. But you don't see them doing that to white folks too much. You don't see that unless they were like a low income white person. If you see somebody like a Bernie Madoff, oh yeah, Bernie Madoff he was indicted today for money laundering and all this stuff, but they don't go back to his history and bring up his history and profile him like that. They won't do that. Yeah, so I get where she's going with that in a way. Yeah.
No, I understand. I understand. And here's the thing: when you're on the other side of the aisle, it's kind of hard to put yourself in them shoes sometimes because you just keep saying, why do they keep complaining? I see they're getting killed, but if they would just stop running and if they would just stop, then maybe they wouldn't get killed. See, that's when you're not that race. That's what you think in your mind. If they would just comply, if they would just stop, then maybe they wouldn't get killed all the time. But that's not what seems to be happening, though, everybody. I mean, that's not what seems to be happening.
Because here's the thing: Black folks always have to be doing something better to enhance themselves. Well, why don't you just get a job? Why don't you just get a better education? Okay, we got a job, you get a higher education, and you're still criticized. Well, why would you want to move from your neighborhood? Why you want to move out to Geist? Why don't you just live? Why you leaving the neighborhood? Why you leaving your neighborhood where you came from? In a way, there's a truth to that. In a way, there's a non-truth there. In a way, yeah, if you got a good job and you start making great money and you have a family, you want to move to somewhere that's a little bit bigger, a little bit better, a nicer school system for your children. But should you stay in your neighborhood? Yeah, because if you stay in your neighborhood, that's that's money that's coming back into your neighborhood if you help build your neighborhood, your community around you with your economic resources. And that's kind of like a yin and yang type of thing. Once you make it, you move away because you don't want to be in the same hood you grew up in because you hate the circumstances in your neighborhood. But sometimes people need you to be there to be a positive influence on the next generations that are coming up.
Yeah, that's kind of like Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle stayed in his neighborhood. I mean, he was always there. He was always trying to help people. He gave people jobs that couldn't get jobs, felons and stuff like that. So, but that's what got him killed too, because he was in the hood. He didn't have security. He was set up, and then he was killed at his business. So, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. And we're one of the only places that don't stick together. You know, we don't
Oh, we
stick
don't.
together. We don't do the things that Hispanic people do, that Caucasian people do, that other races do. They stick together. They help one another. We've been taught not to do that. We've been indoctrinated not to help one another, to be jealous of one another. And I just hope that maybe some of the bad things that are happening, and I'm gonna wrap it up like this because I want to do an hour and that's it tonight. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
wrap
yeah.
it up like this. I just hope that we, with all the things that are happening, I hope that this kind of brings us closer together, makes us start sticking together and helping one another. Because if we don't help each other, nobody's going to help us.
That's
And
true.
that's pretty much the way it's looking. So if Mr. Trump gets back in office, we really need to start looking out for each other, because if we don't, it's
I'm,
going to be over in
if,
the next 4 years.
if Trump gets back in office, I'm moving to Cuba. I'm out of here. I mean, America is gone, you know, and I think it's already gone already, man. I think he's trying to find a way
He's the
to.
only. Well, listen, I heard this. He's the only president that has made the presidency a business, and that he actually profited from being the president the last 4 years.
Oh yeah,
And
oh yeah.
this is messed up that he has changed all the rules about being the president. Like I said, I don't want to go too more into that, but he changed the rules into being changed the rules in presidency. He's broken all the stuff that you're not supposed to do, owning businesses, making money, inviting dignitaries to your you're not supposed to do that. He
Well,
did.
you know what? I kind of think that there was other presidents who did it, like George Washington,
No, they said George. No,
Adams,
no.
because they had, but they
You,
profited
you,
off of slavery. That's the whole. They profited off
yeah,
of
they
slavery.
had slaves, but yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying profited off of people coming to your establishments. That's what I'm saying. That dignitaries and stuff that don't. That's not, because you're not
Well,
supposed to own that. No way. You're not supposed to own anything.
well,
So
they did. But here's the thing: they did it when they had dignitaries coming to D.C. and all that stuff to visit Washington, Adams, and all those guys. But what they were doing, they were still profiting from the slave trade with those international connections to move cotton and
yeah,
tobacco
yeah.
overseas. So they did it too. Just it's just not dwelled up on, because those were the founding fathers of this nation. That's one thing.
Yeah, and they didn't found nothing because this nation was already founded. But anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Lifestyle. That's George. I'll be back at you with another good video. It's really been nice talking to everybody tonight. Peggy, I love you. I love everybody. Shay, I love you. Shirley, Kim, everybody. Holly, everybody. Thanks for coming in. And we'll be
Well,
back at
man.
you. All righty. Take care. And don't wear it in your car. Don't wear it in your car.
Hey man, this stuff's got me so scared. I'm wearing mine to bed, man.
Oh shit. All right, man. I hope you feel better, George. And
I do.
we'll see you again on Lifestyles. Take care.
Big ups.